Good evening. My name is William Trimble. I will be discussing the recent changes that Apple has added to their code of conduct. A code of conduct is a set of rules outlining the social norms and rules or responsibilities of all proper practices for an individual, party, or organization. Related concepts include ethical, honor, moral codes, and religious laws. Apple does their best to make sure that the code of conduct is always up to date and it's very responsible, very reasonable. We all know that you can't please everyone, so that's why businesses have a code of conduct. You want to try your best to accommodate the whole and make sure that everyone is being treated fairly and morally. The moral thing is being done right. There have been some changes done to Apple's code of conduct, and one of those changes were limiting excessive work hours. Workers are limited to 6 hours unless there is an unusual circumstance. They must have at least one day of mandated rest day every 7 days. Overtime, overtime is strictly voluntary. Another change would be the freedom of association and collective bargaining. Suppliers shall freely allow workers to associate with others form and join organizations of their choices, and bargaining collectively without interference, discrimination, retaliation, or harassment. In the absence of a formal representation, suppliers shall ensure that workers have a mechanism to report grievance and facilities open communication between management and workers. This means that a person has the right to join a trade union, free speech, or political parties or any other clubs of their choosing without having any retaliation in return for making that choice. Another change would be health and safety communications. Suppliers shall provide workers with appropriate workplace health and safety training in their primary language. You really want to make sure that there are signs put up stating that this is hazardous, not hazardous, um, or stay away from this, stay away from that, or you need to, you just want to make sure that there are signs that let people know, hey, this is not good for your health, or this could be bad for your health. Health and safety related information shall be clearly posted in the facility. This is important because you want to make sure, like I said, that the environment that your workers are in are clean, are nice, are not dirty. You want to make sure that there's no type of bugs or anything. Without promoting health and safety, you could find yourself in a lawsuit because someone might have got sick due to touching something hazardous. So you want to make sure that hazardous signs are put up. You don't want to be sued because the proper signs weren't put in place and someone didn't know that this was hazardous. Suppliers shall ensure that workers receive at least the legally mandated minimum wages and benefits. Suppliers shall offer vacation time, leave periods, and time for legally recognized holidays. Suppliers shall compensate workers for overtime hours that legally premium rate. Suppliers shall communicate pay structure and pay periods to all workers. Suppliers shall pay accurate wages in a timely manner and manage deduction shall not be used as a disciplinary measure. All use of temporary and outsourced labor will be within the limits of the local law. So you want to make sure that basically your workers are getting paid on time and that your workers are getting paid for overtime, that there's no free work. You don't want free labor, and free labor is against the law, depending on where you're working at. But this is the code of conduct, in the code of conduct for Apple, so it's pretty much against the law. You want to make sure that if your worker is working over the overtime, that they get paid the proper hours, and that that person is not being, for doing the wrong, doesn't get compensated by you taking hours away from them, which means they're taking money away from them. It has been my pleasure to discuss these things with you about Apple's Code of Conduct. Again, my name is William Trimble, attending Strayer University, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you.